headed back to the mountain this year for another set of hopefully great movies. Hey everybody, welcome to Mainly Movies. Today I'm going to be talking about my 10 most anticipated movies of this year's Sundance Film Festival. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for a variety of movie-related content, like reviews, rank lists, and trailer reactions. As many of you already know, I received press accreditation for the Sundance Film Festival again this year, so I'm headed back to Park City, Utah to experience the festival in person for the second time. In fact, when this video publishes, I'll already be headed to Sundance. There are quite a few films I'm excited for this year, so I figured I'd share 10 of my most anticipated Sundance movies with you. So I'm hoping to see as many of these as I can while I'm in Park City, as well as some other bonus movies, which I'll mention at the end of this video. With the way the schedule works out and the logistics of travel, there may be some I don't get a chance to see in the theater, but my press pass is a hybrid pass, so I hope to catch most of the remaining ones online. Just like I've done with festivals in the past, I'll be bringing you reviews of the movies I do get to see over the coming weeks and months. I'm not going to try to rank these by anticipation, so we're just going to go through this list alphabetically. First up is Freaky Tales, co-directed by the frequent collaborative duo of Ryan Fleck and Anna Boden, and starring Pedro Pascal, Ben Mendelsohn, and Jack Champion. Set in 1987 Oakland, this movie is supposed to weave four separate but interconnected underdog stories together, amidst actual events from the time period. It seems like it's primarily being billed as a comedy drama, but the different story segments will likely blend in a whole range of other genres as well. I'm not sure exactly what to expect with this one, but as long as it's not presented as an anthology, I think there's a good chance I'll enjoy it. Next is Handling the Undead, directed by Thea Vistendal as her feature-length debut. This film is part of the World Cinema Program and is Norway's contribution to the category. Starring both Renate Reinsve and Anders Danielsen Lie of The Worst Person in the World fame, this movie is based on a book by Jean Avede Lindqvist and tells the story of a hot Oslo summer day in which the recently deceased suddenly awaken. I haven't read the book, so I'm not sure if this is going to be a zombie movie, a Pet Sematary type scenario, or something completely different, but it sounds like an intriguing horror mystery with some good drama potential. Continuing on is I Saw the TV Glow, directed by Jane Schoenbrunn, who previously directed We're All Going to the World's Fair in 2021. This supernatural horror drama is part of the Midnight Program and stars Justice Smith and Bridget Lundy Payne as two teens who bond over a mysterious late-night TV show. There aren't a ton of plot details available for this one, but it sounds like there's going to be some overlap and bleeding between the real world and the world of the TV show, which is likely where most of the supernatural components and horror are going to come into play. Next is Love Lies Bleeding, directed by Rose Glass, who previously directed the psychological horror drama Saint Maud. Starring Kristen Stewart, Katie O'Brien, and Ed Harris, this A24 romantic crime thriller is yet another Midnight Program film to make my top 10 this year. Love Lies Bleeding tells the story of a gym manager, played by Stewart, who falls in love with a bodybuilder, played by O'Brien. But this isn't a nice, simple love story, and things spiral into a dark and violent criminal plot. This one sounds like it's going to be a lot more grounded than Saint Maud was, and I like the cast, so I have a feeling this is going to be a satisfying crime thriller. Moving on, we've got Love Me, directed by Sam and Andy Zucchero, as their feature-length debut. This post-apocalyptic sci-fi romance is another Kristen Stewart film, also starring Steven Yeun, and is described as a love story between a satellite and a buoy long after the collapse of human civilization. What that means, I'm not entirely sure. If this were animated, I'd say it'd have some WALL-E qualities to it, but considering it's a live-action film starring two actual humans, I'm not sure. My best guess is that Kristen Stewart and Steven Yeun are self-imagined representations of the two pieces of love-struck technology. So, like in WALL-E, they have access to all this human-based information and movies and stories, so they envision their romance in that context. I could be way off on that though, so I'm looking forward to seeing what this actually is. Up next is My Old Ass, directed by Megan Park. This coming-of-age comedy drama stars Maisie Stella and Aubrey Plaza as two versions of the same character. In the summer before college, a teenage girl encounters her older self during a mushroom trip. This older version of herself gives her advice and tells her not to fall in love, but then the younger version struggles when she meets the boy she was warned about. So this one sounds like an interesting coming-of-age type story of self-discovery that I suspect will be able to be viewed in two different contexts, a sci-fi time-traveling one, and one in which the older version is purely imagined. Next is Presence, directed by longtime Sundance veteran Steven Soderbergh. Written by David Cope and starring Lucy Liu, Julia Fox, and Chris Sullivan, there's not a ton of information available about this psychological thriller. The only piece of plot information we have right now is that it's about a family that moves into a new house only to discover that they're not alone. With a description like that, there are a lot of possibilities, ranging from a supernatural haunting to a psychological take on a home invasion thriller. Whichever direction the plot ends up going, the fact that this was shot in a single location will likely ramp up the tension and make for an extra thrilling experience. Continuing on, we've got Rob Peace, directed by Chiwetel Ejiofor. Based on a biography by Jeff Hobbs, this film is a biopic drama about Robert Peace, and stars Jay Will, Mary J. Blige, and Chiwetel Ejiofor. Rob Peace grew up in Newark and attended Yale on scholarship, studying molecular biophysics and biochemistry, and working in a cancer research lab. But all the while, he was dealing drugs to make money, unable to escape the criminal underpinnings of his upbringing. It sounds like it's going to be a bit of a tragic tale, but double life stories are always really interesting, especially when they're based on a true story. Next is Sasquatch Sunset, directed by Nathan and David Zellner. This one stars Jesse Eisenberg and Riley Keough, and just like Love Me from earlier in this list, sounds a bit out there. Rather than satellites and buoys, this drama focuses on the life of a family of Sasquatches. There's not all that much information available regarding the plot, so I'm not sure if this is going to be presented as slice of life, a mockumentary, or what, but I do know that the actors are going to be in full Bigfoot hair and makeup, and an interview with Jesse Eisenberg seemed to imply that there's no dialogue in this film, at least not from the Sasquatches. Tough to judge whether this is going to be really interesting or incredibly frustrating, but I'll find out soon. Rounding things out is Winner, directed by Susanna Fogel, whose previous film, Cat Person, premiered at Sundance last year. This movie is a dark comedy biographical drama about Reality Winner, the woman who discovered and leaked classified documents regarding Russia's interference in the 2016 US presidential election. Amelia Jones teams up with Fogel again, starring as Reality Winner, and other familiar faces like Catherine Newton and Zach Galifianakis round out the cast. This seems to be less of a biopic than an entertaining and darkly comedic fictionalization of real events, but I enjoyed Cat Person last year, so I'm looking forward to checking this one out as well. So, those are my top 10, but like I said at the beginning of the video, I have a few bonus movies that I want to very briefly mention. I'm not going to go into any details on these extra ones right now, but in alphabetical order, I plan to also see A Different Man, Alma Gloria, The American Society of Magical Negroes, Brief History of a Family, Devo, Good One, In a Violent Nature, It's What's Inside, Crazy House, Little Death, The Mugai, The Outrun, Pony Boy, Stress Positions, Suncoast, Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, Thelma, and Your Monster. I also want to give a shout out to Hitman, which would have made the top 10 here if I hadn't already seen it at TIFF. That said, if it fits into my schedule, I'll definitely go see it a second time. Alright, so there you have it. 10 of my most anticipated movies of Sundance 2024, with a few extra thrown in for good measure. Which Sundance films are you looking forward to this year? Which ones would you like to see me review? Be sure to post your picks and thoughts in the comments below. Remember, I'll be reviewing as many of these movies as I can, so be on the lookout for those videos for some more in-depth discussion of each, as well as my ratings, pros and cons, and even tailored film recommendations. Alright, so if you got some enjoyment, insider information out of this Sundance list, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe while you're at it to see more videos like this, as well as movie reviews. Till next time, this has been Alyssa with Mainly Movies, the way life should be.